Good evening, my dear viewer. It's another wonderful time here on EBN TV on the Leadership Challenge Show to talk again on the issues of leadership. We have been consistent on this matter. We have pursued hard because we really want to see a leadership that brings transformation to the people and to the nation of Kenya. And as you are all aware, we are on the road to 2022. We must engage in serious conversations because Kenya is lagging behind in issues of development. And this is causing us to ask questions like, are our leaders visionary? Are our leaders going to office knowing what they are going to do? What is the difference between politics and leadership? And these are the things that we want to articulate in our conversation today. We are glad that you are watching. Thank you so much for joining our conversation today. Keep tweeting and SMS your response and observation on the topic of discussion today. To help us today in our conversation is my friend and a servant of God that I respect, Pastor David Kamau, and also an expert in issues of strategic management. So we are in good hands to discuss this topic. And Pastor David, you can welcome to EBN TV.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
And you can say hello to us.
Hello, viewers. I'm so excited to be with you today.
Thank you so much, David, for being here. And we just take it on right away.
Yes.
And we are on the road to putting people into office again. And we must talk about issues that pertain to leadership.
Correct.
We must make sure that we know what we are doing so that we are not, because I think from now we are going to hear a lot of noise.
That is
we are
it.
going to see people coming and telling us and promising us this and promising us the other.
Correct.
And this we begin to by interrogating our country when it comes to leadership. At independence, it has been said all the time that we were at this par with Singapore and South Korea.
Yes.
And right now they are way ahead of us and we are lagging behind. I will want to hear you articulate on the need for leadership to bring Kenya to the place where the nations that we started with, where they are.
Thank you very much, Reverend. As you have pointed out, Kenya has not moved with the speed it ought to have moved. There are quite a number of issues that has made Kenya to be where it is. And it is what we call bad politics. Because we talk about politics and leadership. What is happening in Kenya, there is a lot of politics which make the leadership not to be able to move. You see, in terms of leading, there is development, there is actually implementation, there is control, and all those things. So what we are fighting in Kenya, the problem is not that we don't have manifestos, we don't have constitutions, we don't have things that can take Kenya forward. The problem we have with Kenya is implementation. If you look at the countries that you have talked about, some of them, they have borrowed our constitution. The constitution which was done, so we have brains in Kenya. But the problem is, when we do very good papers, we don't go ahead in implementing the way they are supposed to be implemented. And right now you can see even the constitution, the one we have, the 2010 constitution, it has very good elements. But you can see every other time we are actually fighting with the constitutions. And that is the challenge that we are having. Some of the things that we are supposed to be doing right now, we are not doing. And therefore our country is going down and down. Because when a country becomes what we call, I will call it in quotes, stomach infrastructure. What we talk about the stomach infrastructures is where the politics is actually taking the lead in terms of I give you the fish that remains after I have eaten what I have eaten. And this is exactly what is happening. We are not getting down there to train people how to be able to catch the fish and continue now building their lives. But we are only dealing with the stomach infrastructure. Therefore, what is happening is we are so much concerned about day to day. but really not looking at the vision. Where are we supposed to be?
Yeah.
And this is exactly why Kenya is where it is. There is a lot of many things that Kenya should be doing, but most of the people are looking for power. They are really not looking at the interest of the country.
Yeah.
People want just to make themselves to be prosperous, but they are not looking at the posterity of this country. And these are the things, when you look at them, they cannot make Kenya to be where it is supposed to be. Some of the countries right now, they are actually exporting things to Kenya when we are supposed to be exporters.
Yes.
We are actually importing instead of exporting.
So the question is, where did we go wrong? And is it because of our politics? And do we get, because there's leadership and there's politics, and I really want every Kenyan to know that. That is why we are repeating the question again. What went wrong? Where are we missing it?
Where we missed it, actually, Reverend, is the fact that instead of people looking at, you see, like sometimes you hear people talk about the big four.
Yeah.
Sometimes we are so good in terms of just having some papers.
Good papers.
Good papers. The brains in Kenya are too many. But the challenge is that implementation. So the main problem with Kenya is implementation. And when you find politics becoming so, it is like what rules the day, what you realize is that sometimes we want to do politics with the people who loves us.
Yeah.
We want to do with people who can protect us. And we forget about the country. And many times we don't stand for what is wrong. And one of the things that you'll find, in fact, if you go to the index in terms of corruption, it is quite a bad thing that you find that Kenya is actually among the countries that are termed as very corrupt. And there is one time I was reading an article, and it was saying every average man in a month gets an invitation to corruption almost 16 times per month.
Oh,
and
somebody has done that?
Yeah, research was done.
Okay.
Every other person,
every single
citizen in this country
gets an invitation.
They
to
get
do corruption.
invitation for corruption allowed 16 times. Whether you do,
a day.
No, in a month.
In a month.
Whether you do it or you don't do it is another issue. But you'll go and people want to do a small service for you. They'll ask you, what is it? What is there for me?
Yes.
You'll go for payment even in the government quarters. And you are told, first of all, before we release your payment, yes. So before you get the tender, there is something that you are told that you have to give out. When you are given that tender, before you implement, there are some few other things people who are coming and saying, before you do this, we have to get something. Before you are paid, there is something. And you find there are so many invitations in terms of corruption. And I think Kenya, one of the things that has made Kenya to be the way it is actually corruption is at its height and it is not being tamed.
Yeah.
When you hear like our leaders say that every other day we are losing 2 billion, that is a statement which is not a good statement, because we should be saying, what is it that we are doing to tame this corruption?
Yeah.
And therefore, Kenya is actually not going at the speed it is supposed to go.
Because of corruption.
Because of corruption. And in terms of implementing the measures to curb corruption, people are not really having that authority and power to say these fights cannot continue.
Yeah.
And these are the things that are killing the country. If you talk about 2 billion, multiply it by 30, by 12, you know, you are talking about how much money. You are talking about 700 and something billion. It is almost going to cross to 1 billion every other year. So this is money that should be going to development, but it is actually going to the long hearts. And that is why Kenya is where it is. We are still struggling because there are so many other things that are happening, but we are not having the leaders who are going to start strong and say this has to stop.
Okay, so this problem is on the part of politics.
Yes.
And people deciding we are going to play politics.
Correct.
Instead of leadership.
That is it.
Because leadership is very deliberate.
Yes.
You are taking people from a certain point
Correct.
to a certain point.
That is it.
But politics seems to go nowhere, but wants to please everybody.
Yes.
So corruption becomes our... I really want you to draw the line for us a little bit, the line between leadership and politics, because we really want to hear it again and again, not because somebody has never talked about it, but please say it again. Where is the line between leadership and the politics? Because we don't want just to fall for politics. We want to get leadership that is able now to take Kenya from a certain point to another point.
Well, there is a very clear, there is a very clear path in terms of leadership and politics.
Yes.
The differentiation is so big. One, in terms of politics, people are looking at the public popular opinion.
Public popular opinion. Yeah.
Actually, that's what drives politicians. Right now, why you'll fight politicians, they are actually having rallies, and they even sometimes they bring people even from other region so that their rallies are going to be seen as very big rallies.
Yeah.
It is because they are looking for public, public opinion.
Yeah.
Popular opinion.
Yeah.
That people are going to say this guy is able to attract a lot of many people.
Yes.
And therefore, this is what is happening. They are not so much cared about what leadership looks for. Because leadership is actually more interested in values and principles. They will look at what values guides us.
Yes.
What principles are we studying on? In terms of the policies, what is it that we stand for?
Yes.
In terms of constitution, what is it that we are supposed to do?
Yeah.
But you find in terms of politics, people are only bothered, how popular am I? And sometimes even you realize, even right now in Kenya, because we are going to 2022, people have actually thrown values out of the door.
Yeah.
Politics, that's what it does. You fight somebody who has been mentioned in corrupt cases.
Yeah.
But because we want him to help us because he is popular in our party, we will now welcome them to our party.
Yes.
That is politics. We welcome them to our party.
But we know these people cannot deliver.
We know they can't deliver.
Popular on the ground.
Yes, we know they can't deliver.
Yeah.
We know their track record is not clean.
Yeah.
But they are very popular on the ground. So what will happen is that we don't really stand for any value.
Yeah.
We'll get anybody as long as they are popular and they are able to deliver anything to us. They are able to deliver their community to us. And this is politics.
Yeah.
But when we come to leadership, leadership are going to go against the grain. Sometimes they may not be popular. They will say things, they may not be popular, but they will do something which is good for this country.
Yes.
And that is the difference between leadership. The leadership really looks, in terms of being a leader, you look at what is it that is going to help this country move forward. But politics looks at what is they look at their own interest.
Yeah.
What can give me more power? What can take me back to this position?
Yeah.
How can I lock people? The other time we talked about locking people at a certain position. How can we lock these people so that they cannot go beyond?
Yeah.
So if you look at politicians, they don't want even to make people to develop and to grow.
Yeah.
They want them to remain at the status quo so that they can be able to manipulate them and control their might.
And so you can say all the money that has been disbursed for development in this country since independence, it did not go to development, it went to people's pockets because of bad politics. Is that what you are saying?
Yeah, that exactly. In fact, this was even the statement from the current president. He talked about the money actually going to the bad hands every other day, 2 billion. So what we are saying is that there is a lot of money that is supposed to go for development, but this money is going to people. Because you see, people have no conscience. They are not really made for about the people they are leading.
Yes.
They are looking at 5 years. This is what I want to gain within the 5 years.
Yeah.
And they say I spent a lot of money in politics,
so
I must recoup it back.
Yes.
And this is the dirty politics that we are talking about. That we don't choose leaders because they are the right leaders.
So the question is, do Kenyans really care? Do we really care whether we get leaders who can move us forward in terms of development, or we just go for the most popular person?
Let me say, Kenyans right now, many of them, they do not even know what is happening. Because what has happened is the politicians, they have manipulated the mind of Kenyans. And they know how to where to touch in every Kenyan.
So that Kenyans can sing their song.
And that's why we say the stomach infrastructures, sometimes they give you something small and you lose your mind. You don't actually think. And that is where our politicians have taken the Kenyans.
Wow. It's getting very hot here. And we are calling it as it is. And I don't think we need to apologize to anybody. We must liberate our country from corruption and bad leadership. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Leadership Challenge Show. With me here, Reverend Felix Kavoi, and our guest, Pastor David Kamau Amadu, a management strategist. And we are glad that you are talking to us, Pastor David.
Thank you.
So before we went for break, we saw that Kenyans don't care. And it's like somehow we are jinxed. Somehow it's like we are cursed with a certain curse. That when it comes to the time of picking the right people, we begin to do other things instead of doing the right thing. And I really think we can pick it up from there before we move forward.
Correct. What we were saying is that our leaders, let me not call them leaders, because most of them are politicians.
Our politicians.
Our politicians, and it is a very bad thing. You cannot lead people by manipulating them.
By giving them
giving them handouts. You need really to make sure that the people that you are leading, you are taking them somewhere.
So even before you finish what you are saying, can we outrightly say that now whatever we are doing in this country is just wrong? Because we have based our politics on handouts. Can we outrightly say that?
Exactly. It is a very long position. And that
is not how politics is done in other countries?
No.
Oh, okay,
Actually, Kenya, we are headed to a very bad place. In terms of, we are not developing the people. There are so many young people. Let me say, for example, today is on Tuesday. A leader will call, a politician will call for a meeting. And you find 1,000 people who are actually on the street coming to attend your meeting on a weekday.
On a weekday.
What does that tell you? Yes, working hours. What does that tell you? And the politicians are just celebrating that they have numbers. They are celebrating that there were so many people who came to their political gatherings. One of the questions, if they have the moral, they need to ask themselves as the politicians, how comes that people can be on the street from Monday to Friday?
And they are available.
And they are available.
And every time we show up, they will also come.
Correct.
Don't they do anything?
Isn't it just to say that Kenya, people are struggling because we have taught them bad manners in terms of just giving them handouts. And you know, it tells us that we are in a bad place, but politicians are taking advantage of this. And that's why we are saying this is poor leadership. It is not something that need to be encouraged. In fact, when you find so many people are actually coming to your gatherings during the weekdays, you need to ask yourself, Instead of just celebrating, you need to see the state of the economy and where Kenya is, and you realize there are more deeper things to be handled than just politicking. Because our leaders are just politicking from from Monday to Sunday.
To Sunday, 24/7.
And it is a bad thing. It cannot take this country anywhere. We are only putting people in power. People who are thinking about themselves, but they are not thinking about us.
For now, it looks like our politics is about the loudest shouter and the one who can give chai and throw handouts at people. What can we do so that outrightly we can say that our politics are not issue-based. What can we do to make sure that we return our politics to issue-based kind of politics?
One, I like the program that we are having here. Because we are speaking the truth and telling the people, don't follow any leader who is actually giving you handouts to vote for them. We must now speak to our people and tell them, everybody, we must go out and train them and tell them, if you find a leader doing 1, 2, 3 things, this is not a good leader for this country.
That's right.
These are just politicians. They will promise, and this is what they do. Like now, every other politician is promising something. The question is, Reverend, they have been promising. Why is it that whatever they promised us more than 15 years ago, because especially the politicians we are having today, and we are saying they are the ones who are shouting loud, they want to be the presidents, they have been in leadership for very many years. They need to tell us, what is it that made them not to be able to deliver at that time? Because they were in good positions where they could have delivered for the people. And this is what people really need to see. People need to get out from that. And we will speak to the people and tell them, vote for the right person. Vote for the people that you have a track record. Not because they speak too much. Because we have some few good leaders actually. But these few leaders are not being voted in. Because we are looking for popular people.
We know they are good people.
We know they are good people.
And we know they have leadership qualities.
Correct.
But we are not talking about them.
We are not talking about them because what Kenyans have been, it is where now the Bible talks about the mind has been darkened. There are some times that politics can darken the mind of the people. And we must liberate our people because they have been put into darkness, in the sense that they are not able to reason for themselves. But we must now continue, especially in this challenge, leadership challenge. We must speak it out and tell people, don't follow the lies of the politicians. Don't come and promise us things today because you have been there, you have not done it. Why is it that you are telling us what you are going to do right now and you could not do it yesterday?
We are on the road. We are on the road to 2022 election time. And I'm wondering whether we as a people in the land of Kenya are missing to do some things that are done in other countries. Because I wonder why we should just go to political rallies to be tickled in the ears rather than to ask questions. Why don't we ask important questions instead of somebody just saying, I'll do this, I'll do the other, I'll do the other? Because, I saw a meeting that almost came very close to some politics that we see in developed countries. A meeting that was in Makueni. I don't know whether you remember. I think the former Prime Minister went there. And the 3 governors of Ukambani, they were there. Although they almost, they did not do it 100% right because they were almost endorsing the presidential candidate. And that is not what we are supposed to be doing. But at least they presented a paper to that man. This is what we want for this region. This is what we want to see. Don't you think we as Kenya, we are missing to ask the people who are looking for our votes important questions?
Yeah, we are missing. And you know why we are missing is because the people who are representing us in terms of the top, because not every other Kenyan will be able to ask questions. the people who are actually we have chosen to represent us, they have actually moved towards their own interest.
Yes.
They are looking at who is able to, you know, in terms of positioning. You know, they are looking at where they position. Yes, the power brokers.
Yes.
They are looking at where do I position myself? Where am I going to gain more?
Yeah.
And therefore, what will happen is some of the Kenyans, like what we are asking. We are asking the right questions right now.
Yes.
But the question is, how many Kenyans are having the opportunity to ask the questions?
Yes.
Because you see, some of the people in this country, they have believed their leaders 100%. But these leaders, they have taken advantage of them.
Of the people.
Kenyans want the right thing for this country.
Yes.
But we are having some politicians who don't want the right things for this country.
Yes.
Because they know if we get the right things, if people get enlightened, we will not be in politics tomorrow. And therefore, our politicians, they don't want us to ask the right questions.
Yes.
And therefore, we must be keen in what we are talking about here, because we are actually talking about the good of this country. And we must start as Kenyans, start now interrogating people and asking them the right question. You tell us this. Why is it that you are telling us this? Tell us exactly how you are going to do it. Because there is a lot of stories. People are talking about so many stories.
And I think when you talk like that now, you are coming to the area of vision.
Yes.
Because a man who has no vision will not take people anywhere. Because vision is the picture for where we are going.
Correct.
Now, if you do not have that picture, will you take us there? So it's really very important for Kenyans to listen to those people who need leadership through politics and find out whether they have anything to offer.
Correct.
And no matter how much they are popular and we like them, we should not vote somebody who has no vision. Because they will not be able to take us somewhere. But now, Pastor David, I'm seeing another challenge. It is like there are people that are positioned as power brokers. When there is a political rally, there's a way they make the meeting to go. And they make sure there's a lot of shouting and rowdiness. Don't you think we need to change the order of our political forums? Because the way the political forums, political rallies are being done here, there is nobody, you know, you cannot come to ask for our votes and you are not asking for our problems.
That is the thing.
How can it be monologue? Only the politician coming to talk to us and the people are not being given the microphone and the time to talk to the politician. Please talk to us.
That's a good point that you have brought out. And this is what the kind of politics that we want to see.
Yes.
Whereby we as the voters, we have a voice.
Yes.
If you are not going to give us the space to speak what is ailing us, if you are not seeking to understand this community, what development that we are looking for, we don't have any use for you.
Yes.
You can come to our region the many times that you want to come.
Yes.
But if you are just going to speak things, you just go there on the top and speak things, we are not going to vote for you. And this is what Kenyans need to do. A leader who just comes and says things and goes is not a leader.
And there's a lot of rowdy youths that have been given something to shout.
You know why? Even the youths that they are actually shouting, they have bought them. The stomach infrastructure. They are being fed. Yes, they are being fed.
And it is shameful.
Yes, it is shameful. If you look at many rallies, and I would want you to go and see.
Yes.
There is always a creak of some few people who are shouting.
Yes.
The other people are listening
and
from a distance.
Yes. And all that.
And they are the ones who excite now the crowd for that politician. And these are actually people for hire.
Yeah.
And this is what we are saying. As Kenyan, we must say no to hired politics.
Yes.
Because this politics is not taking us anywhere. We must say that we will not vote for you by how many numbers you have.
Yes.
We must get to a point whereby we look at you. We ask some few questions.
Yes.
If you don't pass the tests, it doesn't matter how popular you are. We are going to say no to you. And that is where, as Kenyans, we need to get to.
And really very important things are coming out in our conversation today. And my dear viewer, I really want to hear your view on the matters that are arising here. Our political rallies are not well placed. We want political rallies where the people of that region are given ample time to articulate the issues of that region.
Correct.
And hear how the leader will tackle them. And don't just tell us we will do, we will do. Give us a clear plan.
Yes.
A clear, good plan on how you will fix our problems, and we will know you have a vision. And this coming year, Kenyans, is not late. We still can elect people that can move us from point A to point B. The truth of the matter is that a man who has no vision, no matter how popular they are, they will never move our country forward. We are taking a short break. We'll be right back. Wow, welcome back to the Leadership Challenge Show. This is our last session. We have been talking about issues, and there are positions that we have already arrived at as Kenyans. If Kenyans, we want to see change, we must change our way of approach. We cannot do things the same way and expect to change. So now we have another opportunity. We are on the road to the year 2022, where there's going to be general election. We're going to get a president. We're going to get governors. We're going to get members of parliament, members of county assemblies, senators, women reps, and all these people, and MCS, members of county assemblies. We must now be very careful that we will not just play the game of politics and lose leadership that is able to take us where we are going. Pastor, let us now look at the landscape, the political landscape, the way it is shaping.
Yes.
And I think we live in this country. We know what is happening. And as it is right now, why don't we begin with that meeting in Makueni, where the three governors, they came for that meeting, where Raila Odinga was the guest of honor.
Yes.
And of course they did well because they presented a paper of demands, and they gave it out to him. But a lot of the voices we were hearing there, they were just endorsing rather than demanding. How do you see the thing shaping up, especially in popularity, and how arrangements have been done?
Okay, let me just start by saying that this is purely based on interest.
Yes.
When we talk about politics, it is only on interest.
Yes.
And as you have said, it is a good thing
that
our politics is going towards that direction.
Yeah.
This is not something that they have not done.
Yeah.
You remember when they were popularizing the BBI?
Yeah.
What did they do? Exactly what they did in Makueni.
Oh.
They used to go to regions.
Yeah.
And they sit with some few people.
Yeah.
Actually, and
the power brokers,
and they ask, what are your issues?
Yeah.
And they come and say that we are going to deal with these issues.
Yeah.
Let me say that the problem is not even not getting to know the issues. As we started by saying, the challenge that we are having with our politicians is implementation.
Yes.
We can have many things which we are talking about. In this region, we need 1, 2, 3 things.
Yes.
Which is a good thing. Yeah. It is good for you actually to be able to lead. You must understand people where they are, where you want to take them, and how are you going to take them to where they want to go. Yeah. Which is a good thing. It's actually a good beginning. And I think, as you are saying, this is the politics that we need to see.
Yes.
Whereby we are sitting down and articulating matters.
Yes.
And saying these are the things that are ailing this community.
Yeah.
Because you find different communities have different needs.
Yeah.
You find that there are some communities, they are actually dealing with livestock. You need now to address their issues to do with livestock.
Yeah.
There are some who are in agriculture. There are others who are in minerals. There are others who are fishing and all these kind of things.
Yeah.
So you really need to sit down with the people and ask them, what are the issues that can make a difference to you?
Is it enough just to tell us, I will fix your road, I'll fix your livestock, I'll fix your fish? Is it enough without telling us the plan, the strategy? Where will you get the money from? Because even another time, I think one of the leading contenders was asked a question, and he said, I've been in government before, I know where the money will come from. Should we just get such an answer, just a blanket answer? Can we be told, where will this money come from? How will you do it so that our problem is solved?
You know, Reverend, let me tell you.
Yes.
Any leader who starts and makes such kind of a statement, he is a politician, not a leader.
Yes.
You know, the question is, why should you come now to tell us, I know where the leak is?
Yes.
I have always known, I have been in this government, so I know where money is, and therefore if I get to power, I will be able now to tackle those things. It is telling us something that you may also not be very clean, in the sense that you have been knowing that we are struggling because money is taking this direction, yet you have not been taking anything, you have not been doing anything to make sure that money gets back to where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
So there is a bit of a big challenge right now for any leader to come out and tell us such kind of things.
Yes.
Because they are telling us that they did not see it necessary to come and make sure that Kenya moves forward. Why should you wait for 20 years for you to come and pinpoint this is where the money has been going to?
Yes.
What have you been doing?
Yeah.
And that's where I remember one leader, he said, a country is bigger than an individual.
Yes.
There is a moment that you come and you say, I would want it this way for myself. But when I look at my country, it is bigger than me.
Yes.
It is bigger than myself. And therefore, I would rather lose some of the positions, but at least I start for the country.
Yeah.
I start for the development of this country. And therefore, when you tell us that I am going to do this because I know which holes I'm going to block,
I'm going
to close and all that thing, we are already saying that you are not good for us.
Yeah.
Because we are not too sure that these are not just rhetorics. They are just talks that you are saying. And this is exactly what people are saying.
Yeah.
Because as we are saying, you need to tell us, I am going to do this. You tell us why it is not being done right now is because this has been happening. And this is what I have done to be able to close this.
Yeah.
Because let me say, why it is good to have a government and you have an opposition.
Yeah.
It is good for check and
balances. Yes.
Right now, Kenya is in a very bad state.
Yes.
There are no checks.
There
are no balances. And the leaders who are actually supposed to be doing this are the people who are shouting loudest. And I would urge Kenyans, for these leaders who are shouting loudest and they know where our problem is and they have not been addressing our problem, we should say no to them when it comes to 2022.
All right. You know, many people, there's a big debate across the country right now because people are not a prime minister. And you can help us to know, after handshake, it's like we saw the deputy president exit his office, and we saw more activity with the handshake partner, the former the prime minister. Has he been in government or he has been out of government?
Right now, I would say the man who is out of the government is actually the deputy president. He is actually out of the government right now. In the sense that there is really no project that he is able now to say that this is the project I am pursuing. There are so many decisions which are being made when he is not there. So right now, the government has changed. It is only a government in paper. And that's why you are fighting like the Jubilee is actually having a lot of issues. In fact, they are having at least a meeting on 30th of November where they want to kick out some of the president. Because actually for them, they are finished with the deputy president. It is only that the constitution, the way it has tied them.
So are you saying the Prime Minister has been in government?
Prime Minister actually has been in government since handshake. He has been in the government. And I can tell you, you have seen even our president.
Yes.
He has been going to inspect projects with who?
Yeah.
With the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
In terms of the roads, in terms of many other things. He has actually been going, even Kisumu.
Yeah.
He is actually going to inspect the projects with the Prime Minister. So if you ask me, and you have asked me that question, the Prime Minister is more involved since 2018 in this government than anything else. And therefore, that's why sometimes you keep on hearing people say, some of the issues which are happening here, you will be asked.
Yes.
Because you are part of it.
Yeah.
There is a time you are not part of it. Yeah. But right now, you are part of it.
Yeah.
So from 2013, the deputy president was in the government up to allow 2017 end.
Yeah.
But after that, I can tell you, the Prime Minister is squarely in the government.
Okay. We are trying to break it for our viewers. And as we observe and see it, we are intelligent people. We live in this country. The former Prime Minister is running for presidency.
Yes.
Although he says he will declare his stand on 9, but I don't think there is any declaration to make. He is already going for the presidency.
Correct.
The deputy president has been on the campaign trail.
Yes.
Then we have the Oka.
Yes.
We have Kalonzo Musyoka.
Yes.
We have Mudavadi. We have Wetangula.
Correct.
We have Gideon Moi.
Yes.
For the two, Gideon Moi and Wetangula, they don't seem to be very aggressive about it. So can you, in a short while, tell us who do you think at the end of the day will be on the ballot among these 6 people?
For me, I'm looking at it in 2 scenarios.
Yes.
You see, what happens with parties, there is what we call the interest. Again, this word interest is coming so many times.
Yes.
You'll find that the option number 1 is that you may find, actually what I am thinking and what I am seeing is that most likely there is going to be 2 people who are going to be contending for the top seat.
Yes.
And this is actually the deputy president, William Ruto, and the former Prime Minister, Raila Amolo Odinga.
So you think those 2 will be facing one another?
These 2.
So we should not wait for anything else.
Let me say, if this Oka is actually going to go all the way, what will happen in this country, I can tell you, there is no one who is going to get 50 plus 1.
Oh, okay.
It is actually going to be a rerun. Unless something happens drastically. What will happen? Because let's say, for example, if, for example, Honorable Kalonzo, if he starts for presidency, the eastern region, where do you think it will go for? It will go for most of it. There are chances that he is going to get quite a number of votes from those regions. And also he has a bit of some other areas where he is able to get some few, some few votes.
So votes will go into that.
So votes will go into that region. When you go to Luyalad, some of them you can hear, they are saying we are not going to support anybody else. I know, like, the former Prime Minister is quite strong in Luyalad. But the thing is, if Honorable Mudavadi goes full swing, he is also going to get some votes. And when you find him getting some of these votes, you see they are eating to the votes of one person. So you'll find that some of these votes are going to be reduced.
So there's going to be a rerun.
So what will happen is that there's going to be a rerun. And now, if there is going to be that rerun, what will happen is you will see politics after now the first one. When the rerun comes, it's whereby people are going to sit and say, which now, where do I go? Do I go on deputy president, which is William Ruto, or do I go to the former Prime Minister? So they will be weighing in terms of, and that's where you find that some of the people are given a lot of money. in terms of billions.
Yes.
And they are told you, just support me. We are going now to form a coalition from there. And this is what you are going to get. And you see, that is exactly now which will happen. If for example, we don't get the two.
Yeah.
In my thinking and analysis, I think there's going to be a rerun.
Yeah.
When the rerun comes, that's where now we'll fight now. People are going to try and see how can I get this person in my camp so that we can get those votes.
Okay. We are seeing the deputy president really on a very fast pace.
Yes.
And spanning the country very fast. I think he's very energetic. Does this have any implications in relation to the prime minister, former prime minister, who does not seem to be quite keeping with the speed?
Actually, let me say, first of all, I would be very interested in seeing the government of our former prime minister, him at the top.
Yeah.
You know why I'm saying that? I'm not saying that I want to see him there. I'm not just saying this is the person I want. No, I'm not supporting.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, he is a person who is very good in pinpointing the issues.
Yeah.
Now he will be on the other side if he becomes the president, that people are going to point into what he is doing.
Yeah.
One of the things, and I think it is something for me, I have been looking at former prime minister. One of the issues that he may face right now, we may not really, I know age, they say age is just but a number.
Yeah.
But I think also age, there is a point where it reaches, you also move a little bit slower than the way you are supposed to be.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, this country where it is, it needs somebody who is energetic, somebody who is able to move, somebody who is going to be on the ground, to be able to see things and be able to take action very fast.
But people will tell you, David, that Kibaki was sick when he became president and he performed the best. He is the best president that Kenya ever had.
Yeah, why is it Kibaki? We started by saying there is a difference between a politician
and a leader. Oh.
Look at Kibaki. Kibaki, sometimes you could not even hear him on the news.
Yes.
Many times you could wait for Kibaki and you are not seeing him because he is a leader. What he did is actually making sure the structures are in place.
Yeah.
The problem is when politicians, they want just to politic and not being leaders. And that is the difference. So it may not be the issue of the age, is actually how well have you put your structures.
Wow. Time is running out very fast. And we have like one or two things I want you to throw in your thoughts. The FKF. Issue with Nick Mwendwa and the misappropriation of money, and how does this reflect on the leadership of our country?
Again, this is what we started with.
Yeah.
Corruption has become like an order of the day. In fact, you look at so many ministries right now and departments, actually the government departments. What you are looking at is there is a mega corruption. This is just something which is, you get to hear issues.
By the way, did you get worried that Nick Mwendwa said governors have got issues, they have never been taken to court like he has been taken to court? What does that tell us?
You see, that is the thing. You see, what he is telling you is that this country, it is only that he has been singled out.
Yeah.
But
the others
really,
are like him.
Yeah, the others, even who are just moving up and down, they are just like him. There is nothing. So it is like, and it is a very bad position.
And do you think just FKF Kenya just needs leadership?
It needs.
Because our football cannot perform, cannot go anywhere.
It needs, but already you can hear there is politics already. Right now, there is a group, that the caretaker committee.
Yes.
For 27 people,
yes,
which has been formed.
Yeah.
There are other forces which are saying you have to reinstate.
You
know, there are others actually, and they are powerful arms, which are saying what you have to do is to reinstate Mwendwa. And that is exactly what we are saying. People, even when they see corruption, they are still going to side with people. And this is the Kenyan problem. And we must say no to corruption.
We need leadership. For anything good to happen in this country, we need leadership. Touch on Miguna, because I can't understand. I hear that he's not able to enter Kenya. How does a citizen just get banished from his own motherland and it just looks okay? What is happening? You know, I thought about it and I was wondering, what is going on here? This man is a Kenyan, and what is going on? Can you help us? Because also I think people are very interested to know, why can't Miguna, being a Kenyan, cannot be allowed back into his motherland?
You see, Kenya right now, it is not managed through structures. You know, we have 3 arms of government. We have executive, legislature, judiciary. What you find in Kenya right now, it is like only one arm that is managing,
that is running everything.
That is running everything. Whether they are following the law, it doesn't matter. They will actually be told by the courts, do this, they will not do. They will be told even about Miguna, do this, they will not do. So what is happening in Kenya? There is actually what we call the red alert, which was put long time. Actually, the time he was going, why you find that in France he cannot come is because when they actually go and look at him, they find a red alert on his name. It has already been put by the government that this is unwanted man. And it is actually high-headedness.
So may you, can you tell us what sin did he do that he cannot come back here, even if he has broken the law? Why can't he come here and be tried and be put into prison if he then is such a wicked person?
No. The issue is not even he. Miguna is a man who stands on his word. Some of the people are fearing when Miguna comes here, he is going to speak it out. And he will say exactly how things are. And these people, they don't want somebody who is going to say, whether I die or whether you take me to prison, I don't care. I will stand for my country. So it is not because
Miguna is so bad?
No, it is not. Why is it that some of the lawyers are saying what you are doing is wrong? It is not that because he is so bad. In fact, is it only Miguna who really committed a sin? What about the former prime minister who was being sworn in? And he is actually here and he is actually vying for the top position. How can you say that Miguna did a bad thing and the man who was sworn in, he is actually the person who is even going for the leadership?
We just must end it there. Thank you, Pastor David. Maybe you can say one sentence or two and in conclusion.
So, dear Kenyans, it has gotten to a point whereby we must say no to poor leadership. We are going to make decisions and we have the power to change this country. And we can change it by making the right decision, not because a leader is popular, but we just go for the leaders whom we can see they have a vision for this country and we have their track record and we are sure they will be able to change our economy and make Kenya to be a better place.
Thank you so much, David. And I just want to say that it has emerged clearly in this conversation here that politics look for the hype and the numbers and the popularity, but leaders have a vision and a plan on how to take people from one place to the other. And this is the huge difference between a leader and just a mere politician. We need leadership in this country, leaders that can take the country forward, and the people will be happy and the economy will be better. We'll be here again next Tuesday for another good discussion on matters that are affecting leadership in our country. Keep well and God bless you. Bye-bye.